Hi, Councillor Kennedy.
Hello, thanks.
Hey, Doug. I don't think the others are back.
Thanks for that number. I was at a meeting with them and I thought another
Doug and
person.
Amanda, you're on camera and on microphone.
Oh, okay, we're
Thank
not.
you.
Okay, we won't talk about when
And we're
meeting.
recording, just so you're aware.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks, by the way, Amanda.
You're
All right,
welcome.
thank you for your patience. We appreciate the ability to go and consider what we've heard this evening. So as we reconvene, I need a mover and seconder that the complaint by Mr. Mike Ballantyne is allowed and that the incorrect determination or error be rectified. And the development charge is hereby rectified in the following manner: that the development charges will not be applied for this application for the following reasons. And basically it came down to the tribunal believes that we were in error by contravening the development charge bylaw for not applying the DC charges at the time of the issuance of the permit. We need a mover and seconder, Councillor Prenger and Deputy Mayor Clark. Further discussion? All in favor? And that is carried. Thank you so much for coming and making your cases this evening, gentlemen. We will reconvene back into council again now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pardon me? Thought that was part of the motion, was it not? Oh, we need a mover and seconder that we adjourn. Councillors Kavanaugh and Hinchberger. All in favor? Carried. Good. All right, delegations and presentations. We have Mr. Jim McTeer here this evening on behalf of the Whitney Crawford Reserve Fund. So I'm just going to go up and talk to Mr. McTeer for a minute while he makes his presentation, because
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for making time for me. For those that don't know me, my name is Jim McTeer. I'm a Tiverton District Lions Club member. Tiverton Lions operate the Whitney Crawford Community Center under an agreement with the municipality. There's a board of directors consisting of 4 Lions and 3 community members. The community members are Kevin Hayes, Dorn Fitzsimmons, and Russ Ridley. The Lions members are Kevin Carr, Ron Mantle, Guy Martin, and myself, and I currently hold the chair position on the board. The agreement that we have requires that if we show a profit at the end of a financial year, any money over $1,000 must be split 50-50 between the Lions Club and the municipality. And the money that goes to the municipality will go into the Whitney Crawford Community Center Reserve Fund. For the year of 2023, we finished the year with a profit of $4,784. So I'm here tonight to present a check to the municipality for the reserve fund to the sum of $2,000. Thank you.
so on behalf of the municipality, thank you. It's extended to the Lions Club for their and the community members for their stewardship of the Whitney Crawford Community Center, and we look forward to that to its inclusion for years to come. Thanks very much, Jim. All right, Recreation Financial Assistance Program update. Before we go to a mover and seconder, I'd like to acknowledge that this will be the last evening that Karen Kiefer will be here as our staff person. No, just a minute. We're supposed to be, oh, you are supposed to be happy. We're sad you're happy. After 31 years, Karen is hanging up her skates and taking up a different sport, I guess. She's one of a small group of employees who've remained with the municipality. 31 years is a long time. It's a testament to her dedication. We all know that as Karen's tenure extended, her responsibilities increased. Lions Club Park, skateboarding, the Davidson Center gym expansion, day camps, programs, marina, etc. She's retired, but she's still around, and we look forward to your participation in many other things. So thank you, Karen. Having said that, we will now grill you regarding this financial. So we need a mover and seconder. The council repeal policy PR 2.1 Recreation and Leisure Financial Assistance Program and enter into a program partnership agreement with the County of Bruce, which will allow municipality of Kincardine residents to access the County of Bruce Child Activity Assistance Program in Q2 2024, moved by councillors Blackwell and Stewart. All in favor? Discussion? Councillor Blackwell?
Hi, thank you. So I am supportive of this program, and I'm grateful that Karen and staff have brought it forward. I have two questions. First is the wording of the motion, which states that will allow Kincardine residents to access the County of Bruce Child Activity Assistance Program in Q2, which, to the best of my knowledge, we are already able to access this, but this would potentially expand the number of residents that could access it. And I think that's a bit of an important distinction. The other is I would like to make, I'm going to say it's an amendment, it may be a friendly one, but I do have some concerns around the scope of the program. And so I would like to make an amendment that we approve this program at this time, but that we request a report back by Q4 of 2024 with a potential consideration for the scope to focus on municipally run programs. And I can speak to why if I have a seconder.
Is there a seconder for the motion? Oh, Councillor Kennedy. Discussion, Councillor Blackwell.
Thank you. So through you, with the fact that we can already access, or residents can already access the Bruce, County of Bruce program, one of the things that I think would be important is for us to look at our own programming first and make sure that it's as accessible as possible. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been reading information from Parks and Rec Ontario on their recommendations around access to recreation. And a big conversation and point that they make is streamlining the registration process. So one of the things that I can speak on as someone who works in social services is that many of the individuals that I have the pleasure of working with in my own work get access to funding and they cannot access it at all. They can't use it because these funding programs often require that you either purchase it up front and receive reimbursement, or that you jump through a lot of hoops in advance in order to ensure that you can get it all lined up so that when registration opens, you've already been approved for the funding, which is quite challenging. And if it's not approved, you miss out on registration. And so one of the things that I would like us to look at is a couple of things. One is ensuring that our own programs qualify under this program, which right now with County of Bruce, it does cover sports and leisure activities, but only after Jumpstart is exhausted, which takes 6 to 8 weeks. Jumpstart takes 6 to 8 weeks to potentially approve your application. The other is none of the programs, to the best of my ability to understand, apply to drop-in programs. And having worked with a lot of low-income families, drop-in programs are really important because they may have precarious employment, they may have precarious transportation, they may not be able to commit to an ongoing weekly program. And so making sure that all of our programs could be accessed through a program like this would be something that's important to me.
Clerk, can you read the amendment one more time, please? Yeah, I know.
So
Just so we're focused back in on what the amendment says.
So the amendment says that a report come back in Q4 to expand the program to include municipal programs under this program.
Sorry, thank you, through you. So what I was speaking of was that the scope of the program changed to focus only on municipal programs for our $5,000.
Just out of curiosity, Ms. Kiefer, is that not the intent of this resolution anyway?
Through the mayor, the intent is that Bruce County would administer the program on our behalf. It would include swimming lessons, but it's broad, it's extracurricular activities, scouts, brownies, sports equipment, things like that, but it does include swimming lessons.
Specifically for the municipality?
That is correct.
Okay. Councillor Kennedy, please.
Sorry about that. I have a comment and then a question. Firsthand, kind of a second home to me, the Davidson Center, and I've seen how devoted an employee Karen's been and the extra hours and efforts she put into this municipality. And I'm happy with what Mayor Craig said about her at the start of this. So best of luck, Karen. This is a program that I brought forward 4 years ago because I was in the recreation office and was told that Jumpstart money ended in August or September, and there was kids missing out. And that's why I brought this forward to try to help 25 to 30 kids get into our programs in Kincardine. I'm happy that we're going to use this money, but I really believe in what Councillor Blackwell is talking about, that we need to revisit it at the end of the year just to see if there's a different way through our own municipality that we can handle this money. Thank you.
Councillor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, through your mayor. It's a question for Councillor Blackwell. When you say municipal programs, are you talking about only programs offered by the municipality of Kincardine or programs offered in the municipality regardless of who's providing them?
Thank you, through you, if I can respond. I was speaking specifically about our own programming. So one of the things I think is that through Jumpstart and through the County of Bruce's program, which already residents are able to access, it covers a lot of those additional programs. What none of them cover is drop-in programs or the ability to register through ActiveNet, to the best of my knowledge. And that's one of the questions I'd like to potentially ask staff is, right now with County of Bruce, the ones that I've dealt with, in most cases, individuals have had to pay completely upfront and request reimbursement, which for a lot of families who can access this program, that's a significant amount of money to put up. And so what is the process right now in terms of right now with ActiveNet, whenever I've registered, I've been required to pay upfront. And is there a potential to utilize our existing system to ensure that residents can access registration day alongside all of the other peers without additional barriers in order to get this funding upfront?
Councillor Steinhoff, great, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. I guess the question I would have, and I'm not sure who I would be asking the question of necessarily, so I'll look to some guidance. But based on what Councillor Kennedy just said about like Girl Guide camps and brownies and that sort of thing, and then what we've already heard about how it affords equipment, if we made this clause about the municipality, would we be restricting those programs? Because those camps are very beneficial for kids and being able to be included in them. And there's certain sports where without the help with equipment, it would be very challenging to seize those opportunities, even through like the Jumpstart program. So I'd like to understand how that limits the scope by adding that clause, just so I understand that I'm not inadvertently adding extra barriers.
Ms. Kiefer, do you have a suggestion, comment regarding that?
Well, I'd like to answer Councillor Blackwell's question first. So for day camp, for example, if a family is in need of assistance, they typically would approach the county before registration day starts. They are usually pre-approved. They submit a letter to the municipality saying that they have been approved by Bruce County. Therefore, they're able to register with everybody else on registration day. The money is put on, they pay a portion, and usually the county pays it every month. We send them a bill of residents who are accessing Bruce County funds to pay for municipal programs. So everything is done pre-approved. Our staff are notified, and it's a smooth process. That way is my understanding. That answers your question, I think. Councillor Steinhoff Gray, if I understand your question appropriately, actually, I think I was focusing on Councillor Blackwell's question that I might need that rephrased, please.
You had just spoke to earlier about how our current program afforded some equipment costs so that if you couldn't afford the equipment, you could purchase them. And I believe there was some reference to brownies and other I would consider not municipal programs that people can access. So I was just curious whether there'd be a ramification to limiting our scope to municipalities.
So currently, the municipal program is just for municipal programs. It's the county's program that is broader and allows for more participation.
Counselor Stewart, please.
Thank you. And through you, I'm getting a little confused here because it's becoming bigger. All we're doing is moving the administration from ourselves over to the county, which makes more sense because we don't really have the in-house expertise. We can, work with county. We can improve their program, make it a little more, towards what we want. But, really what they're asking for tonight is that we give permission to move the program administration over to the county. And I see that as black and white. I have no problems with that. Yes, I think programs need to be approved. I think it's not always the municipality that's going to help these families out. I mean, I'm a Lion. We give money to all sorts of organizations. So we're getting a little bit confused, and I'd like to go back to the original motion and vote on that. But we have to vote on our Councillor Blackwell's motion first, but it's getting a little confusing. Thank you.
Deputy Mayor, please.
Thank you, Mayor, through you. I don't have an issue with the principle of it moving to the county. But it does seem like we are perhaps maybe overcomplicating it. In 2023, $500 was utilized in total. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So it seems like I don't know why the program's not being utilized more than that. I don't know if you can comment on that because that's a bit of a shame.
I think it's awareness and education.
Before you answer that, we're still talking about the amendment, which is keeping the programming specifically to the municipality. Municipal program, municipally provided program. So if there are any other questions regarding that, we'll vote on the amendment first. So we've had a request to call the vote as per any councillor's wishes. So can you read the amendment for us again, clerk, please?
So that a report come back in Q4 to narrow the scope of the program to include only municipal programs for our $5,000.
All in favor? Opposed? So that was defeated. Now we come back to the original motion. Questions regarding that? Deputy Mayor, do you want to extend that question now?
Thank you, Mayor, through you. I just, I wonder if you could, I guess it's twofold. One is, I appreciate that it would assist by moving this to the county for the administration purposes, but it does seem like quite a small amount in any event. I wonder if you could perhaps comment on that and why that is the case if it's so small.
So through the chair, I think it's awareness and education of getting this program out there to residents of the municipality of Kincardine that the funds are available. Also, along with the administration moving over to the county, they work with families who maybe are unaware of this program and they can bring this to their attention. They're used to dealing with sensitive information. It just seemed like a win-win for us.
Councillor Prenger, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. There goes my screen. I want to thank you for the explanation because actually I had a few similar questions because I wasn't quite understanding there. The staff report said that this was suggested due to existing capacity issues, which is very vague. but now you've provided a bit more context. So I'm better understanding how the county could maybe do this for us a little better, a little more efficiently. So I'm just trying to figure out where my question goes from there because I had a few and I wanted to make sure I didn't mess this up. The $5,000 that we're giving them, they're going to hold it specifically for Kincardine residents, but it can be used for any of the programs that they would normally administer through this program. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Counselor Blackwell, please.
Hi, thank you. Through you, I want to confirm one thing that I'm struggling a little bit with this. So right now, if I'm a low-income family and I get access to this program, I'm eligible for these programs. I could have accessed 600 through Jumpstart, 500 through the county, and 300 to the municipality. If we're now potentially sending our program to the county, which I think is great because I do believe that they have access and the ability to manage the elements of the finances. But now that removes the extra 300 top up that we were providing previously to those families. And if they're already eligible to access the County of Bruce program, how do we know that the County of Bruce won't utilize our 5,000 first and therefore not see it as a top up on potentially the number of people from the municipality? Like, how does the County of Bruce direct and disperse their funding by municipal area?
Well, I would imagine they would use the 5,000 from Kincardine first. And then once that's gone, Kincardine residents can still access what's remaining in the fund. And I've been told by the county that the fund has never been depleted. So there is lots of opportunity for it to be used by Kincardine residents.
Counselor Stewart.
I think there, through you, Chair, I think there's been a healthy discussion. I would ask for, let's go for a vote, please.
So we've been asked to call the question. All in favor of the motion? Anyone opposed? That's carried. Strategic asset management policy update. We need a mover and seconded that the updated strategic asset management policy be approved as presented, moved by Councillors Hinchberger and Kavanaugh. Is there any discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Letter of credit policy. We need a mover and seconder that council adopt the letter of credit policy attached to report financial services 2024-07, which sets out the minimum standards for the acceptance, custody, and administration of letters of credit and other acceptable forms of security. Councillor Hinchberger and Councillor Stewart, any discussion? Councillor Stewart, please.
Just a quick one. I like to thank the department. I believe that's Roxanna's department. You did a good job. It's nice and clear now and it protects us. So job well done. It was overdue. Thank you.
All in favor? That's carried. 2023 year-end capital review. We need a mover and seconder that council authorize the reserve and reserve fund transfers totaling $251,359 as summarized in the attached 2023 summary reserve and reserve fund transfer schedule. Moved by Councillors Stewart and Deputy Mayor Clark. Any discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Tiverton Splash Pad contract award. Need a mover and seconder of the council award the contract for the design, supply, and installation of the Tiverton Splash Pad to Diamond Head Sprinklers in the amount of $274,950 plus HST. Moved by Councillors Stewart and Hinchberger. Any discussion? Councillor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. There was been some concerns raised about just how exactly the Accessibility Advisory Committee is going to interface with this. So maybe for the public, we could just get a quick summary of that.
Deputy Mayor Clerk. There was a response this afternoon, came through emails. So if you just summarize that, it would be quite appropriate.
So this, pardon me, the RFP that was put out was for a company to do the design. The designs, they were provided 2 designs. They are not necessarily the designs that are going to be used. And so what's going to happen now is that they will be vetted through, once we choose the correct person, they'll be vetted through through the rec department, and then they will also be gone through the public, and they will also go through the accessibility advisory committee. So right now, we are not approving a design tonight, we're approving the company to do the design. And that is where AAC and members of the public will have their say in what that design looks like.
Councillor Blackwell, did you have a question about this?
Yes, thank you. Through you, I did have a question, which was, if this is approved tonight, do we have a rough timeline of installation, in consultation with the highest bidder?
Mike, please.
Yep, thank you, and through you, Mayor. We're hoping to have construction completed by the end of the year. So, yeah, 2024.
Councillor Stewart?
Thank you, and through you, I just wanted to congratulate all parties. This was quite an accomplishment and a fairly close. I mean, you know, the Lions presented this less than a year ago. And I just wanted to thank all the parties, the Lions, and of course, staff and everything. And this is going to be a wonderful community event, and I'm hoping to invite all the counselors over there for an evening too. Thank you.
All in favor? And that's carried. Award Davidson Center roofing replacement. We need a mover and seconder. The council award the contract for Davidson Center roof replacement project to Pollard Enterprises Limited for the bid price of $601,329.35, inclusive of the non-refundable portion of HST. Moved by Councillors Kavanaugh and Hinchberger. Conversation. All in favor? That's carried. Special events policy update. Need a mover and seconder that the updated special events policy be approved as presented. Moved by Councillors Kavanaugh and Blackwell. Questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Warming and cooling center activation policy. We need a mover and seconder. The council approve the policy for activation of warming or cooling centers in the municipality of Kincardine. Councillor Blackwell and Hinchberger, any questions? Councillor Blackwell, please.
Thank you. Through you, I wanted to thank our emergency management crew for putting this together. I was just at a conference where we talked quite a lot about climate weirding, as they called it, or climate change, and the increase in extreme weather. And I think that this is something that our community will benefit from. I also think we've had a couple conversations about potential partners in the community who may be able to assist in their own centers for if there are ever wide-scale emergencies. So I think this is a really great program to be bringing forward and just to have a policy in place. Thank you.
All in favor? And that's carried. And I would defer to Deputy Mayor Clark for the next issue. So I need to recuse myself.
I'll need a mover and a seconder that the council enter into a 2-year agreement with the Kincardine Agricultural Society to manage and operate the Connaught Park Pavilion expiring December 31st, 2025. Councillor Hinchberger and Councillor Stewart. Discussion? All in favor? Passes.
Okay, we have motions, matters for decision. An application can be made for the cancellation, reduction, or refund of taxes under section 357 or 358 of the Municipal Act for several reasons, including but not limited to a structure being raised by fire or demolished, or a change in classification. Impact and update assessment due to the change for future assessment years. However, this application allows for an adjustment to assessment from the date of the change event with the corresponding the taxes to be adjusted accordingly. This process is application-based. The documentation is internally reviewed and verified by staff, then sent to Impact for their determination of the assessment reduction. The assessment and tax reduction are then provided to council for final approval. Once again, this is a very public process. Anyone who believes that they are being overly taxed because of a change in condition get to apply to council, and also applicants may also make representation to council if they wish to do so this evening. So is there anyone from the public that would like to make a representation? Okay, seeing none, we need a mover and seconder that whereas section 357, 358 of the Municipal Act provides a process for property owners to apply for a cancellation, reduction, and refund of taxes under specific circumstances, including but not limited to a change in the use of property, demolition, or fire, the property being substantially unusable for a period of at least 3 months, or a gross and manifest error in the preparation of the assessment roll. And whereas in the opinion of staff, the 15 write-offs meet the criteria set out in the Municipal Act, and whereas the total of the applications amount to $6,159.07, with the municipal share being $3,514.50. Now therefore be it resolved that council approve the applications as provided. Moved by councillors Blackwell and Deputy Mayor Clark. Any discussion? All in favor? That's carried. We have the consideration of bylaws. Need a mover and seconder that the following bylaws are hereby read a first, second, and third time, finally passed 24th of April 2024. Program Partnership Agreement Bylaw. Strategic Asset Management Policy, Letter of Credit Policy, Tiverton Splash Pad Tender, Davidson Center Roof Tender, Special Events Policy, Warming Cooling Center Activation Policy, and I need to declare on this one, the Kincardine Ag Society Agreement 8.4. Yeah, we can pull that one out, so Deputy Mayor can vote on, Deputy Mayor can lead that discussion, and I'll get to eat my cookie. Need a mover and seconder for those first 7, Councillors Kavanaugh and Hinchberger. All in favor? That's carried.
Get a mover and seconder for the Kincardine Agricultural Society Agreement 2024, Bylaw 2024-068. Councillor Hinchberger and Councillor Stewart, all in favor? And that passes.
So the consent agenda is considered routine, and we are enacted in one motion. The exception is for one or more items that might be removed for separate discussion or action per councillor's requests. Councillor Hinchberger, please.
Actually, through you, Mayor, I'd just like to make a general comment about all of the reports on A through E for all of the departments for this quarter. On A, the Peer Safety Annual Report. Thank you to the Director of Community Services for that, which satisfies a resolution of council in December 2023. I can't pick out something from every report. The quarterly procurement report identifies a load of contracts related to a lot of road construction projects, which have a lot of benefits for the community. Community services update. One thing that stands out for me is the huge increase in the number of visits to the health club in Q1 2024. Strategic initiatives is doing a boatload of work, including the rollout of the new website, both the corporate and the tourism one. And I'm drawing a blank. Corporate services, one thing that stood out for me. I'm a big proponent of what do you call it? Zero tolerance by law enforcement. So I couldn't help but notice the drastic increase in the number of parking infractions that were laid out in the first quarter. I think that for the public here, like you can watch this meeting and see what's going on here, but progressively, some of the stuff that if you really want to know what's going on in the municipality and what the departments are working on are in these quarterly reports. Thanks.
Anything else from any other councillors? Councillor Kavanaugh?
Oh, thank you very much. And through the chair, I'd like to pull 9.1 Delta Echo, the letter from the St. Anthony's Parent Council. At our March 27th meeting, council voted to eliminate the school resource officer position. During the debate, some statements were made by members of council and attributed to representing the views of organizations and members of our community. One such group felt that their views were being misrepresented, and that was the St. Anthony's Parents Council. They took the time to write council, showcasing that they were in fact in support of Officer Jackson and everything that she had achieved with their students at the school as the resource officer. The letter then went on to urge council that even without that position, which we voted to terminate, we should ensure that this grant money and municipal funding is being spent implement in the best interests of the children in our community. In a similar manner, under 9.1 Delta Alpha, the letter from the Kincardine Police Services Board has a similar message. And to this end, I'd like to bring forward a motion that at our next meeting on May 8th, we have a discussion at the council table about how to best
Sorry,
use those
Counselor,
funds. Sorry.
I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure you can bring forward. Can you bring forward a motion in? You can, but we're in the consent agenda right now where there's already a motion. Oh, there's not a motion on the floor right now. So is this a notice of motion or are you just saying you're going to bring one? Because there is a difference.
So the intent is to bring one. However, there is a bit of a rules procedural question here, and it could have happened above. And the consensus that I was achieved that it was best brought up relevant to an item within the agenda so that I could refer to it. Because if it stood alone, then someone could challenge it that it wasn't on the agenda itself. But since these letters were submitted, the original motion that I wanted to bring forward was discussing the potential use of these funds and grant towards a community service officer position. I submitted that motion. However, it was challenged by our clerk as being too similar to the school resource officer motion. In order to bring something forward at this point, I have to use the procedure bylaw under 5.4A and appeal this decision to the chair and say, can we going forward have a discussion that would be on the potential use of a community service officer?
So in that vein, I would encourage you to work with the clerk and provide that notion or the motion for the next meeting following the procedure bylaw. And I think that's what I heard that you're going to do.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Councillor Blackwell, please.
Thank you. Through you. I'm sorry, just scrolling down here. I'm looking at BEH, which is the upcoming Canadian Armed Forces exercise. I'm wondering if it's possible to hear a little bit about how we're going to be engaging the community in preparation of that and what that may all entail for our community.
Maybe look forward to a report from our CMC in an upcoming meeting of some sort or other. You actually want to do it now? Shane, please.
Through you, Mayor. So we're going to be doing a media release to let the public know. The Canadian Armed Forces have already done, are already engaging the public as well. We have advertisement going out in all our local media, and we'll be doing, I'll be doing radio interviews and that sort of thing, specific to what is happening in Kincardine. And we'll also be entailing our own exercise that'll be leading to that as well. And then we'll be doing post reports as well.
Councillor, please.
Sorry, thank you through that. So within our own community, it sounds like they may be going door to door. Is that correct? To do wellness checks and as they're simulating an exercise?
That's correct. That's what they'll be doing in the municipality of Kincardine.
Anything else from council? Okay, we need a mover and seconder. The council approve the recommendations contained in the consent agenda dated April 24, 2024 and direct staff to proceed with all necessary administrative actions. Moved by councillors Blackwell and Kavanaugh. All in favor? That's carried. Member of Council, general announcements. Deputy Mayor.
I have none.
Councillor Kavanaugh.
Thank you very much. And through the chair, Councillor Hinchberger kind of stole the thunder, but the new website is about to launch tomorrow. That's super exciting because there's been a lot of work that's gone into it from our staff behind the scenes and a lot of feedback that's come in to make it the best it is. They hope there's no bugs to work out, but like with anything new that launches, it's an iterative process, as some of my councillors would say. So congratulations to them.
Councillor Steinhoff-Gray, please.
Nothing today, thanks.
Councillor Kennedy.
I've got a couple things. Go Canada, Oilers, Canucks, Jets, Leafs. I want to see a Stanley Cup parade in Canada one of these years. I probably just jinxed them, but 140 volleyball teams at the Davidson Center. I'm not sure if the staff is a big fan of me next week, but it's the most fun event I've ever organized in my life. You come up and watch it, come up and cheer, come up and have a drink. But it's when I first started it and told people that we were putting sand on the arena floor to play volleyball, they looked at me as if I had two heads. Anyways, so we'll see you at the arena next weekend.
Councillor Blackwell, please.
Thank you, through you. There is also a youth day, which is really exciting, which is happening in partnership with COVA at that event. I spent the last couple days in downtown Toronto at the Good Roads Conference. I will summarize as best I can the immense amount of learning that I got to experience there for my fellow councillors. I want to share that the upcoming Saturday, May 11th is the Hike for Hospice. And I also believe that this coming weekend is the Home and Garden Show, which is always a fun event. So,
Councillor Stewart.
Thank you. Just wanted to tell you that the Tiverton Lions is putting on their annual garage sale on the May the 10th and 11th. So if you have any treasures that you don't require anymore, we'll be more than willing to accept them, or Lions will be more than willing to accept them. And that's in Tiverton at the Sports Annex. And you can donate your treasures on the Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and details are on the website. So come one, come all, bring your money. Thanks.
Councillor Pranker.
Thank you. Well, if you missed the Tiverton one, the Kincardine Lions Club have their giant yard sale in just over a month, Saturday, June 1st. This year it's going to be at the Davidson Center. So drop off for anything that you want to donate will be the Friday, May 31st from 10 till 6. And so if you miss it on Tiverton, come on down to the Davidson Center on June 1st.
Excess stuff to you.
Councillor Hinchberger, please.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. This morning I was in one of the local coffee shops in the town having a coffee, and I ran into our physician recruitment coordinator. We're having a little discussion about federal government budget and change in capital gains taxes and how it might affect family physicians who generally operate as corporations. She just reminded me of the time that next Wednesday, May 1st, as I understand it, is National Physicians Day. So while we continue to be probably provincially and nationally in a case where we don't have enough doctors, we should really be appreciative of the ones that we do have.
For myself, in addition to what's been mentioned already, we have the day of mourning, Sunday, Sunday the 28th, 10:30 at Chesley, day to remember the workers who have been injured or killed on site, and the reality that it's an ongoing process to remain safe and well looked after. One other comment: there has been a significant social media presence in the last week or so regarding the absence of the fruit and vegetable stand at the Canadian Tire parking lot, and it has caused a lot of concern. Be aware that council is fully aware, staff is fully aware, and that it is council and staff's desire to bring a positive outcome to this situation. There are responsibilities on both sides, and as those are worked through, then we look forward to a speedy resolution to this situation. Okay, CAO.
Thank you, Mayor. Just an announcement from Infrastructure and Development that Queen Street is back open at Mount Forest and the contractor has moved out of the intersection.
Very speedy. All right, we need a mover and seconder. The council move into closed session pursuant to section 230